welcome everybody to Scott Cooks. Today in our Ninja Speedy, I know you were waiting for me to say foodie, weren't you? In our Ninja Speedy, we're gonna cook a huge cowboy ribeye steak. That's right, look at the size of this thing. Massive Angus beef, and we're gonna cover it in cherry cola fire and smoke barbecue rub. So join me, will you, as I cook what I'm gonna call my cherry cola cowboy ribeye steak. For our potatoes tonight, in our Speedy, we're gonna do some red Idaho potatoes. You know, the smaller kind. But we do need to dice them up a little bit. Let's go ahead and get started on that. These small red potatoes, clean them up. I am simply going to quarter mine. And this one is a little bigger. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to keep them quartered. And these will fit nicely down in the bottom of the pot in the Speedy. Actually, some of these are a touch oversized. There we go. So it's about the size I'm looking for right there. Now I do have the Speedy pot available right here, and we are going to just go ahead and place our potatoes right inside of it. All right, now it's important for this particular recipe to keep these potatoes down as flat to the bottom as you can. And the reason for that will be evident in a minute. Now let's go ahead and add some water to this. We are going to use the Speedy meal mode, which is a rapid cooker. And that does require the use of steam and air fry at the same time. So let's get some water in there. And all I'm going to do is just cover this with water. What I'm trying to do here is the device, the cooker tray that comes with this, has these little flip down legs, and that's meant to hook into these areas here. But let me just demonstrate and show you what I think the problem is going to be. So if the tray is that high, you can see the edge, I'm going to be so close to the top of the air fryer that our nice high dollar cowboy steak over here is probably going to burn up before it cooks inside. So what I'm going to do is leave these little legs folded up, just like that. And I'm just going to lay this right down. Right like that. I'm just going to drop it right on top of the potatoes. That way all the steam can come up and I'm further away from the surface. Let's go ahead and get some of this amazing looking cherry cola fire and smoke barbecue rub going. Now, I did give this a little taste test a second ago. I've never had it. It tastes like cherry cola with some salt mixed in it. That's what it tastes like to me, guys. Anyway, it tasted really good. We're going to put a liberal amount on here, because after all, this is a cherry cola cowboy steak. Let's rub it in. And I like to actually press it in. And liberally, is that the right word? And we'll coat the other side with a whole bunch of stuff. There we go. Rub it, press it, let it settle right in the juices. Just get a little on the edges. And again, press it. Get it right in there. Wow, the smell. This is pretty funny smell. I mean, it smells like I'm working with a cherry Coke over here, guys. All right, and into the Speedy we go. This is a little large, so I'm going to have to turn it slightly sideways. And there we go. We've got our potatoes on the bottom, covered in water. Our rack pushed right down on top of the potatoes to allow for all that steam and goodness to come up. And we got our cowboy steak as low as we can possibly put it with potatoes in here. So what we're going to do, we are planning on doing a flip. And I'm shooting for medium here, guys. I'm shooting for a medium temperature, and we are absolutely planning on flipping this over. So let's go ahead and get this into the Speedy and set up our times and temperatures. Let's go ahead and get everything set up now. If you haven't seen the Speedy before, it's a pretty interesting device. It does not pressure cook. So this is kind of like a Ninja Foodie without the pressure and square. It's the best way I can describe it. Anyway, the no protective cover over the grill, so it makes it very easy to clean that. Just sits right down in there. And then I'll show you the controls, and we just shut her down. The only thing that's kind of weird here is there is a switch, and I'll show you what that switch does in just 1 second. Let's just go ahead and talk about that switch. It's called a smart switch. Pretty simple. You flip it up for rapid cook. You flip it down for air fry. We are doing rapid cook tonight. We're going to flip it up, and it does have it written right on it. Rapid cook, air fry, rapid cook. Rapid cook involves the use of steam and air fry at the same time. I'll back that out a little bit for you. I think everybody can see that pretty good. So when you flip the switch up, you get the left side of the menu. When I flip the switch down, I get the right side of the menu. All right, the tiny little dot there, it tells you what's going on. We're going to use Speedy meal and not steam and crisp. We're going to use Speedy meal. Here we go. So let's set our temperatures. Now I'm going to, oops, that's time. I'm sorry. Let's set our temperature. I'm going to bring the temperature down to 375. Explain why in a second. And I'm going to set my time to 15 minutes. The potatoes need about 15 minutes to cook. And the steak probably doesn't need 15 minutes, but I need to time this out correctly. So in order to do that, I'm just simply going to lower the temperature. Now we can always add time, and we can always adjust temperature with the Speedy. And that's, hopefully we don't have to, but that's what we're going to do. We're also going to plan on a flip halfway through. So around 7.5 minutes or so, we'll do a flip of the steak, and we will temperature check it at that point. Unlike the Ninja Foodi, which says the word pre right here, this just has the lines. And it's doing the same as the Foodi. In this stage, the Speedy is simply heating up the bottom of the pot to create steam. It is a little faster than the Foodi because it is smaller and it is a slightly higher wattage. This is 1,000, oh boy, I hope I don't get it wrong, guys. I think it's 1,750 watts, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, you can go back and watch my other video. When I did an unboxing, I did show a picture of the wattage. So here we go. I'll bring you back when it's time to flip and temperature check it. Just wanted to remind you guys, like most of the Ninja devices, they emit a tremendous amount of steam. And this one puts out, I think, even more steam than my Ninja Foodi. So if you've got one of these Foodies or Speedies, make sure that there is no, you don't shove it up underneath of a cabinet because the steam is going to rise and probably destroy the bottom of your cabinet. Just make sure you pull it out, or just get it over on a different counter where there aren't any. And basically, just make sure nothing's above it, because it is just a crazy amount of steam that's going to come out of here. All right, guys, did an initial test, and it needed a little more time before I flipped. So this is actually about 5 minutes remaining. So this is 10 minutes. And we're going to go ahead and flip this bad boy. Oh, she is looking good. Man, I am impressed. So there's, I don't know, about 5 minutes left on the timer, which means we've been cooking for 10. Let's do a quickie test. Just make sure your probe doesn't hit the thing underneath. Look at that, 161. We are there. Let me check it in a different place. Okay, that's a little over by the bone. Right down in the meat of things. That's my number, 163. I like it. I want to get down here, and I'm going to just use the probe to hit a potato. Oh, man, I went right through them. Beautiful. That is awesome. I want to get a little sear on the top with the air fryer on this side, and I'm going to pull it and let it rest, and I think we're done. All you got to do is just lower the lid. She takes off on you. I had a little less time than I actually thought. So we went almost a whole 15 minutes. I guess we went to, what, 13 minutes on just one side. And it came out almost perfect. I'm just putting a little crisp on that top side right now. So I'm just going to let this run out. And boy, that looked perfect. I can't wait to get this out and let it rest. I'm very happy with this Speedy, I got to tell you. I'm so used to the Foodi, and I've done 1,000 recipes in the Foodies. So this takes a little getting used to, but once you get the hang of it and figure it out, this is awesome. Stay tuned for just tons of Speedy recipes coming up. This is like the hot Christmas item for this year. And I know there's a lot of people out there trying to figure them out. I'm going to try to help everybody out the best I can. I've been cooking away in this thing, and it's very fun. And here you have it, straight from the Ninja Speedy, a cowboy ribeye cooked over red potatoes. Is it beautiful or what? And okay, now the part you've been waiting for. Oh, did you see that, guys? Did you see how tender that is? That is... Oh my goodness, I just cannot believe how great this little Speedy cooks our food. I would call this a medium. You're probably going to call it something else and yell at me, but I got a little touch of pink running through it. This is perfectly cooked for us here. We are the ones that are going to eat it, by the way. You can always lower the time a little bit if you want a little more pinkness to it. But as far as tenderness is concerned, well, let's just go ahead and take that bite. Let's go ahead and take that bite. Oh, you know this is going to be good. Cherry Cola Cowboy Ribeye Steak. I should call it ribeye butter, I think. Just dissolves. Absolutely amazing. That's a really good flavor. That is a really good flavor. I like that. All right, we're gonna go for a potato now. Now I did hit the potato with a little Himalayan pink salt and black pepper and garlic. You know what I'm using. Red potato cooked underneath. Oh, just amazing. Absolutely amazing. That is so good, y'all. Then I'm gonna have another piece of steak. Ninja Speedy. Speedy meal. Cowboy ribeye steak, about yay thick. 15 minutes. That was it. Total cook time was 15 minutes, and what, 13 minutes well, I accidentally let go before I flipped it, and that actually worked out almost perfect. 163 degrees was what I was after. I did finish it to get a little crispy on the top. It worked beautifully. The potatoes are perfect. That's it. We're going to chow down now. I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you hit that bell for notifications, subscribe to the channel, and I'll do all that YouTube-y stuff for me. And we'll see you real soon with some more fun in the foodie.